going to the back. I want you to stay with me. The back is a bit complicated, but don't let it scare you. I will break it down and you will love it. For the back piece, I'll be using a red marker, and that is because we'll be drafting the back on top of our front piece. If you're drafting on a paper, you're using one paper to draft your front and your back, and when you're done, you use a tracing wheel to trace the back on another paper. But you can also cut this thing direct on your fabric, but I'll show you how. So I'm using a red marker so we don't get confused. The first thing we're going to do now is to take our tape measurement from here to this point and look for the midpoint. Something like this. You take your tape, you look from here, and then you mark the midpoint, right? And then on this your crotch depth line, from this middle, you come out here by 1 inch. Once you've done this, you connect this point all the way down like this. If you notice, the back crotch depth is not straight, it's slanting, and there's a reason. That's because we have bum, and the line has to be slant in order to accommodate our bum, and so it can fit the back of our trouser properly. Now that we've determined our crotch depth for the back, just like we did for the front, remember that we have also crotch extension for the back. In the last video, I taught you how to calculate the crotch extension for the back, which is your hip divided by 10. I'm working with hip 40, right? This is hip 40 divided by 10. That will give me 4. So now that 4 inches, I will come here from this my red line because it's my back. I will measure 4 inches. By the time you measure this in, it's usually a bit outside your pattern. So let me just use red line to extend our back. So let's assume this is our 4 inches. By the time we measure, we have 4 inches. So I'll mark it here. Just the same way we curve the buns. That's how we curve the back. So from our hip, we make a curve to come and meet the crotch depth. Something like this. After I've done this, the next thing now I need to do is to take my tape measurement, right? My tape rule, and mark everything I have for the front, from this place to this green line, right? On this my pattern, I have 8. So I'll take it from this red line here. I'll mark 8 inches here. I'll mark 8 inches. Then I'll still come to this my hip line, or this from my hip line to this my green allowance. I have 9.5. I'll come back from this my red line here again and still mark the 9.5, right? Then on my crotch depth again, I'll mark from this my crotch depth. I'm not starting from the extension, I'm starting from here. I'll mark what I have from this black line to this green line. Then I'll still take my tape again from this red line and just replace it here. This is going outside our pattern, right? Now that I've done this, I'm going to connect my curve. So from here, I'll connect my curve like this. On my knee line, I'm going to mark 0.75 for this part. On the down part, I'm still going to mark 0.75, and then I'll connect it all the way down. Let me clean this black line so I don't get confused. I'm going to mark it all the way down, like this. And then from this my line to this line, I'll mark this one to connect this my 0.75 inches, like this. Right? Then now, on this other side, on my center front, on my knee line, I'm going to mark 0.75. On my length, on my hair, I'm still going to mark that same 0.75. Then I'll connect from this my crotch extension to this point. I'll connect from this point down to this point. Your back crotch length depth is supposed to be longer than the front. So when you're trying to sit down, your trouser does not go down. So from this our back crotch depth, we're going to raise it up higher by 1.5 inches. So from here, I'll take it up by 1.5. I'll raise it up. Then from this my waistline here, I'm going to just connect it to this point. So now this red line represents our back piece. So that's remove smile line, those lines that will come and fold like this, I mean a frown, whatever it's called for your trouser. You come down here for your front piece. That's I'm coming back to my black marker. From this center front here, I'll come down by 1 inches, and then I'll just take a little slant. So now this is our trouser for both our front and back piece. I'll be cleaning away all the irrelevant lines. So while I'm done cleaning, this is what our pattern looks like. This whole black represents our front piece, this green represents the allowance on our front piece, and then this red represents our back piece. When you're drafting on a pattern paper, you will now take this pattern paper and this pattern and place on another pattern. Use your tracing wheel to trace out this red piece, and then redraw and cut out. If you be drafting directly on your fabric as you're using freehand, once you've done this, once you've cut your front pattern, right, you carry your front pattern and cut the back pattern. To determine the amount of fabric to put on fold for your back pattern, whatever we have for our front pattern, add extra 4 inches to it. Remember our front piece, we had hip divided by 4 plus 2 plus 1, so that gives us 13 inches, right? So for the back, we've added extra 4 inches. 13 plus 4 is 17. So we're going to fold our back into 17 inches. Then you carry your front and place on the back. On this center front, just leave like 1 inch here, and then on this side, you're going to leave like 3 inches. To continue with the back drafting process. The only thing that is going to be different here is your crotch. Your crotch line is going to be on your front piece. Every other thing is going to be on the new back that you folded. So for you to transfer this crotch line here to the back, you just lift up the front and be marking and be marking and be marking. Please try this pattern and let me know whether it works for you. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. I know you enjoyed the video, but please do not forget to like, drop your comments, and subscribe to my channel. I still remain your favorite fashion tutor, Merit Noma Obasi. Remember, there's no such thing as the right time. If you're waiting for the right time,